We needed the 12-week build. We had to have that.
I just want a safe home to live in. I want a kitchen so I can cook my kids dinner. I want my kids to feel safe.
Heart-wrenching, like, just makes you sick in the stomach.
It can't be that difficult to build a granny flat.
No, you're right, 100%. And again, we're not saying that we're that there's delays outside of our control. A lot of them are late in conditions.
I just want it done. I want it finished. I want a home. And I don't have one. I have a building site.
Christine Jones has been to hell and back the past 2 years.
My husband was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer on the 5th of May 2020, and he died 32 days later.
Following his death, Christine moved from Tasmania to the Blue Mountains in New South Wales, where she planned to live in a granny flat at her daughter Erin's place.
She had to sell her home to come here and fund this build. She was told she'd be in before Christmas of 2020.
Erin chose to build with A1 granny flats because she claims they promised a quick turnaround.
We needed the 12-week build. So my mum was sleeping on my couch and her belongings were in the car.
But the family says a year and a half on, it's still not finished.
I have no drainage whatsoever. To leave my front door when it's rained heavily, I have to roll up my pants and take my shoes off. And I'm walking ankle deep in water, dirty water, muddy water. You try and chase them up and there's no response. You leave messages, please call me back. You text them, please call me.
Julianne and Darren have hit similar roadblocks after signing on with A1.
Organised to get a granny flat built for my elderly sick parents. We seen on the website that it said, 12-week build. We were like, excellent, we need this kind of done really fast, so this would be perfect.
But Julianne says it's been far from perfect.
No one would come here and do any work. Just week after week, there'd be nobody here working, nobody here building. My parents' health would decline.
Eventually the granny flat was livable, but their house, which A1 is also contracted to renovate, is still a work in progress.
What are we looking at here?
A bomb site.
What room is this supposed to be?
The kitchen.
So what are you guys cooking on?
Camp stove.
Camp stove.
Another quality project by A1 Granny Flats.
Yeah.
Is this a quality project, is it?
No.
We're hoping.
I mean, if they're just going to put up some cardboard, I've done that myself in the kitchen.
The family rented for as long as it could afford, but had to move back in with no roof for weeks after the project was delayed.
Day after day, we're ringing saying, can you fix the ceiling? Can you fix the ceiling? Can you put the roof on? We lived with a tarp. It was like living in a tent. It was freezing. My kids would cry every night. Mum, I'm cold. Mum, I'm cold. We've paid nearly $40,000 more in rent than what we thought we would.
Anthony thought he'd build an A1 granny flat on his investment property in Sydney's West to double his rental income. But so far, it's done the opposite.
Just money pouring out, losing nearly $1,000 a week, not just on the granny flat, on the house sitting at the front, which can't be rented out because of the rubbish. It's a 60 square metre granny flat, not a 600 square metre house. Should be walking the park for him.
Anthony says it's been 9 months.
What's still to go?
Kitchen, flooring, paint, bathroom, built-ins, exterior paint, water tank, electrical, plumbing. Wow, I think that's it, maybe.
Stephan from A1 Granny Flats.
We do say 12 weeks on a standard build. None of the projects that you're referring to are standard builds.
That's 100 days on the contract, so why is it taking more than 12 months?
It's 100 business days, so that's not including the weekends. So it's actually like 17 weeks.
As for the delays,
I'm not too sure if you guys are aware of the 4 to 6 weeks of rain that we had. A lot of it ran through the COVID period. We had a lot of lockdowns. Of course, you're aware of the vaccine mandates that were imposed.
Okay, but COVID's been over for a good 6 months now, so that excuse sort of runs old at this point.
Of course, you're right. And then, of course, we had the shortages with materials and trade availabilities and stuff like that. And as you're aware, a lot of people are still getting sick.
Seems like Stephan has an instruction manual on excuses. One happy customer Stephan wanted us to speak to is Marty Malichko, who lost more than $60,000 when Avalon Granny Flats went bust.
I've had a fantastic experience with A1 Granny Flats. I was dealing with a horrible company prior. They work try to their deadlines.
We're saying, yes, guys, it has been delayed and we truly do apologise for that. We're offering everyone compensation back.
But have you actually compensated anyone, and could you give me a number of people that you...
Unfortunately, I can't give you that information, but what I can tell you is
because the people we've spoken to certainly haven't been compensated.
So what I can tell you is that when the contract's on foot, we don't pay him straight away.
More excuses. Darren and Christine are now seeking compensation through NCAT. They've refused A1 site access and want another builder to finish the job.
It's hard enough going home to an empty house when you've lost your husband, but to go home to a place you don't like anymore and you wish you could just blow it up and just run.